Stanley, Scuba, Sailing, and Adventures. I appreciate you being here with me to log an entry in the travel journal. If this is your first time, please hit that subscribe button. Today we'll be scuba diving St. Kitts Anchors Aweigh dive site. This is dive number 12 in this 19-part series. Scuba diving St. Kitts and Saba. All of the dives in this series were recorded during a week-long liveaboard, departing and diving in St. Kitts, cruising and diving in Saba, and then finally ending in St. Martin. The dive started at approximately 4:45 in the afternoon and lasted just over 50 minutes. I recorded an average depth of 47 feet and a maximum depth of 67 feet. My dive computer reported an average water temperature of 84 degrees Fahrenheit. This is our second time diving this dive site, and as you can see, it's a spectacular dive site. We have a large barrel sponge right in front of us, an invasive lionfish over to the right, and that's the second one we've seen already. I don't know if you noticed the first one at the beginning of that ridge. There's another one over the top of this large barrel sponge just in front of us, and yet another one. And here we have a smooth trunkfish coming to take a look. And it appears there's a green sea turtle right in front of us. Green sea turtles get their name from the green flesh that's under their shell, and you can't really see it. And the reason it's green is from all of the seagrass and greens that they eat. We can tell this is a green sea turtle because of the shape of his head, and he doesn't have that hawksbill like the hawksbill does. And then also note the shell, the lines between the pieces of the shell are like tile grout. You see they're very distinct and they don't overlap. These are all characteristics of the green sea turtle. I was careful to try and approach him from the side and not directly behind. And as you can see, he's not disturbed because he's just moving off quite slowly. Often if you approach them slowly and from the side while they're eating, they'll just carry on eating. I guess this one didn't feel like hanging around. If you watched the previous video on this dive site, you'll notice that we're on a little bit different part of the reef, but we will make our way back around toward the anchor. Note there's another invasive lionfish right in front of us. And yet another off to the left. I think that's 6 or 7 so far on this particular dive. And here we have a great barracuda. Here's another great barracuda. There seem to be several on this site. Here you can see the mooring line coming into view, and if you recall from the previous video, the mooring line is actually attached to the anchor for which this dive site gets its name, and this anchor's been here a very long time. This video was recorded in April, so even though it's not quite 5 o'clock, the sun is quite low in the sky, and it makes for some spectacular views. Here we have another great barracuda, and you can see the way he really lights up when the video lights hit him. And here's a view of that anchor. We'll come in toward the bottom and look up the mooring line toward the sun. What a beautiful, spectacular view. I love looking at the sun coming down through the water column. Incredible. Here we have yet another great barracuda passing by the anchor. Here you can see the original chain is completely and totally encrusted, and then a new chain around the eye and our mooring line attached. Schooling fish, a variety of sponges, another great barracuda, lots of sunlight, a late afternoon dive in the Caribbean. I don't think it gets much better than this. Here we have a peacock flounder. Do you see it yet? Notice the two eyes. And I believe, well, we did it. We just saw he can look directly behind him, and those eyes move independently. The peacock flounder range in size from 6 to 15 inches, reaching a maximum of 18 inches, and are most often found in depths of water ranging from 2 to 40 feet. The distinctive features of the peacock flounder include the notch in the upper head profile above the lips, the numerous blue rosettes over the entire body, and the numerous blue spots on the fins and head. I thoroughly enjoy photographing the peacock flounders, and I'll try to get as close as I can without disturbing the fish. When he moves, he doesn't tend to move very far, so I'm assuming he's not terribly annoyed with my presence in camera. Look at those colors. Here's another close-up look at the eyes of the peacock flounder. What an incredible scene. Look at all the fish and the sponges and the sunlight coming through the water. This is why I dive. Here we have another pair of invasive lionfish. So many on this dive site. And here we have another great barracuda cruising the reef. Here we have, it looks like, 1, 2, 3, 4 Graysbys all together. Maybe 5. I thought at first perhaps this was a cleaning station, but I don't see any cleaners. Yeah, I guess that was just a group of Graysbys hanging out together. Here we have a 4-eyed butterflyfish that doesn't want to stay in frame. and just incredibly spectacular views of the sunlight coming through the water. Here we have a very small spotted moray eel tucked in next to a couple of arrow crabs, and that really gives you some perspective on the size of this spotted moray eel. It's quite small. They range in size from 1.5 to 3 feet, reaching a maximum of 4 feet, and are most often found in depths of water ranging from 6 to 40 feet. The spotted moray eel. Here we have a smooth trunkfish. The smooth trunkfish range in size from 6 to 10 inches, reaching a maximum of 1 foot. I've never seen one that large. They're most often found in depths of water ranging from 15 to 80 feet. Note the distinctive features, the dark body covered with white spots, and the area of pale honeycomb markings on the central mid-body. And I see yet another odd-shaped swimmer in the distance, and we'll see if we can catch up to him. One of my favorite categories of fish, the odd-shaped swimmers. This is a honeycomb cowfish, and he's just ducked inside this large barrel sponge. We'll see if we can get a better look at this honeycomb cowfish. I'm not sure it's going to happen. Spectacular views on this dive site. Look at all of those fish and these giant barrel sponges. It's just breathtaking. Here we have another great barracuda. You can see the shadow of the dive boat up there at the top of the water over this beautiful reef with this wonderful school of fish and large barrel sponges. And the rays of sunlight coming through the water. What a spectacular view.
Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.